Yeah, so currently, as I was saying, I'm working for a drug and alcohol partnership who are West Sussex County Council, and Capital have been working. We've worked working for them. We've just finished our first year with them, and it's really interesting work actually. So what we've been doing is we started off with two reports. So one of them, they were all the lived experience reports. One of them's for people who have used drug and alcohol services in West Sussex, and the other one's for people who've lived in temporary accommodation. And I think with the two reports combined, we saw sort of well over, I think, 60 people, might be more than that actually, and really talking about their experiences, like I say, temporary accommodation, drug and alcohol. So that was really the basis of the work. And then from that, we started to what people asked for, which was interestingly was peer leaders and peer support was one of the things that really came through. So Drug and Alcohol Partnership then commissioned Capital. They gave us an additional £40,000 originally to actually start commissioning some small projects in West Sussex. And today we've got 9, which is amazing. And that altogether, I think, has come in under £65,000 to have those 9 supported projects in the community. Capital support them. And they're really different. They vary for so many different things. We've got 2 women's wellbeing groups, one in East Grinstead and one in Worthing. We've got Pot Roast, which is running Turning Tide. So it's making healthy meals with food bank food at Turning Tides, and they actually has a drop in there. We've got one called High on Health, and he's working out making healthy mixers, healthy coffees, and healthy alternatives to smoking. That's High on Health, so that's sort of we're actually making products on that one. The same guy, Javel, is also running a project called Guidance versus Grooming, and he's working very closely with the police and with the prison services, and that's going to be a TikTok series sort of aimed at younger people that might be going into gangs or getting groomed into gangs. So that's really exciting. We've got so many diverse projects going on. I can't think of them all off the top of my head. So that's been a really nice part of the project. And the other thing we've done, something else that came up out of those 2 reports again and again, was people wanted to get treated with dignity and respect. So how we've gone about that is we've gone about training the staff in West Sussex. There are specifically concerns around housing support staff because we went into temporary accommodations. So that's one thing that we're working on at the moment, and we're actually co-producing e-learning for all housing support staff across West Sussex. So that really feels like we're starting to tackle that. And the other thing we're doing for other staff across West Sussex is specific substance use and trauma informed training. And that's going live at the moment, and that's being rolled out to Job Centre Plus, to the police, probation, social services. That's going far and wide, and that training's been received really well. And we've actually got the people that helped to co-produce that training also co-facilitating that. They're called RC Expert. So the people that are attending the training come and ask them just a little bit about their experience of trauma and substance use from a lived experience perspective. So that's been really good, and I've had really good results of that. So we've been doing lots of really good work with the council, and we'd really hope to continue with that work. But unfortunately, we have very similar circumstances, whereas councils are restructuring everything come March next year. So we're really hoping that work continues, but at the moment we just don't know what's going on with that. But we've it's been really exciting work, and it's great from a personal perspective, because I came into Capital with my mental health issues. I've been diagnosed with emotionally unstable personality disorder. But I also have substance use issues. Up till 17 years ago, I was using crack cocaine and heroin, and it got really, really bad and out of control. And like I said, I'm 17 years clean now, but it was really weird actually, because just a few weeks before this job came up, I was saying how much I'd like to work in drugs and alcohol again. I think the two things really overlap, mental health, and we've identified that everybody who's taking drugs and alcohol in those 2 reports identified with trauma of one way or another. So the 2 things are so interlinked. So it's really nice to be able to bring drugs and alcohol into the conversation as well. And the council have been great actually. They've been really good. They've really let us co-produce this whole thing from beginning to end, which is quite rare. I've worked in co-production for a long time, and co-production is very often tokenism. It's just using a couple of people, throwing one person in a meeting but not really co-producing it. But this has literally been all the way through co-produced. We'd have an oversight group which involves our commissioners and people with lived experience and the staff team. So that's been really good to steer the whole project from a co-produced opinion the whole way through, and not just one person's opinion, so it's working really well. So loving that part of the work.